All right, we're just going right into a map and we're going to show this off. I started leveling a new character yesterday. We're making a Chieftain. Spoilers, we're going to be doing some damage conversion shenanigans. Looking forward to that build. But I leveled this character so smoothly yesterday. I know this is not new, but this is my first experience with the Chieftain Explode tech. And this node right here, in combination with the Fire Regen Mastery, well, not that one, this one right here, regenerate 1 life per second for each 1% uncapped fire res. So not your cap, but any fire res that you have total, which means that I'm getting 195 life regen right there per second just for my fire res, allowing us to very easily almost sustain Righteous Fire, doing things like Death Rush and Valkyras. We're going to get into it in a second. It's like having Plague Bear all the time, exploding everything. You'll notice that I did this right before the video. I should have done it like in the middle of the video because it definitely makes a difference. I stacked a lot of these tattoos right here for the explosion. They're about 20 or 30 chaos each, so I did invest a good amount into them. This explode tattoo by itself really carries very, very strongly. So yeah, I just want to show you guys I'm level 68 right now, tier 4 map, and for just leveling a new character, there's nothing else going on here. This is a 0 button build. I'm moving around a little bit with shield charge and frostblink, but yeah, we don't even use fire trap or anything for just quickly twinking up a character and leveling really, really fast, just spending, a couple divines on twink gear. It's pretty insane. And yeah, basically it started off with me saying, like, leveling a Chieftain, or it's just the worst, right? It's just awful, walking around with the ground slam or sunder or whatever. I know a lot of people do splitting steel early. I basically forced doing, like, as a spellcaster. So I just did I grabbed Rolling Magma and Flame Wall, Holy Flame Totem, all that. And I leveled as if I were an Elementalist or, a Witch, because that's what I know. And that worked out okay. But as soon as I got to Act 2 and I got Righteous Fire, and yeah, we'll go over the tech that you can do to make it really, really easy. It was a breeze since then. Like, the damage was absolutely insane. We did use Fire Trap until, we started getting a lot stronger. And yeah, this is just so smooth. Like, especially once you get that Explode tattoo or that Explode Ascendancy node. It's absolutely insane. Just so smooth and fast. And then I do have Bane applying curses right now. And then we're using Wave of Conviction right now. Not even pressing Vol Righteous Fire. For at least, like, twink leveling, this might be the best. Like, I said that I loved the, I think the Guardian leveling is absolutely insane for 0 gear. Like, that's, like, Soul Self-Found, Ruthless, by the way, setup. If I think Guardian is still by far the best for that, because that Sentinel will carry you with no gear. But if you're gonna, if you're willing to twink it out a little bit, this might actually be the strongest twink leveling that I've ever experienced. I don't want to say in the game, but in terms of just, like, I'll just show you guys Blood Aqueducts, like the idea. Like, I'm just gonna give you guys the core idea here. Like, I'm not even gonna share a POB or anything, because I don't think that's really necessary. Maybe I'll share a POB. Maybe I'll just give you guys a really, really rough one. But yeah, like, this is it, man. Just shield charge, frostblink. I did automate my flasks and everything, so I don't have to press any of that. And yeah, like, even like a lot of the rares will even just die really, really quickly because of that explosion. And it's incredibly fast, very, very smooth, relatively tanky because we're stacking as much life as we can. I'm actually running haste over determination right now because it's really not necessary. Anyway, yeah, very quickly, what's going on here is, like I said, we are taking advantage of the tattoo comes later. The first thing that we want to rush for is I actually went straight up here to Arsonist. This is exactly how I took my points. We can take advantage of combustion support. I did Rolling Magma, Holy Flame Totem. I did the regular Witch leveling in Act 1. Then in Act 2, what we can do is put on a Spring Leaf right here. And you can put on the Spring Leaf earlier. Put on a Spring Leaf. This will give us very high life regen per second, right? Like, when we get to Act 2, we're going to have about 300 life or so. And, going up to 50 life regen per second with the Spring Leaf, that's giving you a huge percentage of your life regen per second. With the Fire Mastery right here, you're going to stack as much fire res as possible. Ideally, you get something crazy like this, a String of Servitude. This is a perfectly rolled one, which goes up to a divine, not a huge deal. Can just get a belt with as much fire res as possible. That's really the ideal, right? Just getting as much fire res as possible, but you can just get a leather belt that has some fire res on it. Then you can equip 2 Dojo's Damning, which, are 1 chaos rings that do absolutely nothing. The nice thing about it is it gives us a lot of elemental res as well as +1 curse, which is nice because then we can do punishment and flammability and elemental weakness. If we anoint Whispers of Doom, just drop punishment if you don't have Whispers of Doom. This is basically your setup when you get to Act 2. You want to do something like this. You want to use a Replica Karui Ward, which will give you Int and Dex early on, which really nice. Those are the stats that we need as a Chieftain. Area effect, area damage, movement speed, all really nice for us. Gives us a nice, really big, chunky Righteous Fire. That's basically your setup, and then you can run Righteous Fire in Act 2 right away because you're going to be regenerating so much life per second because you're stacking all that fire res as well as the flat regen from the Spring Leaf, and then you're going to run Vitality as well. You're just already in Act 2. You're already doing this Shield Charge and Frostblink around, and all the monsters are dying really, really quickly. And then Fire Trap in addition to that with Trap and Mind damage, Burning damage support, efficacy, things like that. Really, all you're doing is stacking life and fire res that gives you more damage and more life regen. And your first ascendancy that you go for here, which makes just stacking fire res work, is we get modifiers to fire res also apply to cold and res at 50% of their value. So if you get 100 fire res, you also get 50 cold and lightning res for free. We don't have to get any cold or lightning res on our gear because we're going to be stacking so much fire res that those will already be naturally capped because you're going to go for 200, 300 fire res. And then early Act 3, this is the big thing, is you're going to grab the Valkyres Bronze Scale Gauntlets. These are really, really cheap and they're incredible. I bought these ones with the +1 level Socket of Gems. They're 50 chaos, not very expensive if you're twinking out. This gives you, an additional level to all your Socket of Gems. The idea here is you want to have Vol Righteous Fire going in the Valkyres. They get +6 levels if you get the implicit. So my level 16 Righteous Fire here goes up to level 22. And having access to that high level of your spell gem that early on is just insane damage, as well as getting free Onslaught for 20 seconds every time you use a Vol skill. So when you use your Vol Righteous Fire, you can have a very high uptime of running Onslaught. So that in there, and then just, run a +1 level of Fire Spell Skill Gems Scepter. We're running around with level 23 Righteous Fire already at this low level. Honestly, the 2 Dojo's Damning is overkill, and I recommend something like a Pyre here. What you want to do with a Pyre is search for something that is well rolled without quality. This is a classic scam. Here's a little tip for you here. So if we search for increased burning damage, you'll see that people have these listed at a divine. Damn, that's expensive. But you'll notice that they all have 20% quality. So what people do is they buy perfectly rolled Pyres, and then they hit them with essences or catalysts, and they make that 80 go to 96%, and then they sell them to people that don't know better. This is a classic thing people do with Astramentus, all that type of stuff. You want to search for 0 quality, and then search for, you can get a perfectly rolled Pyre for 30 chaos, and then you can hit it with your own catalysts, which are really cheap. They're only half a chaos each. You want to hit it with the turbulent catalysts right here, and these are half a chaos each. They're very, very cheap. So what people are doing is they're buying a 30 chaos ring, they're hitting it with 10 chaos worth of catalysts, and then they're selling it for a divine. So don't get scammed. You can just do this yourself very, very easily, and then you can get 96% increased burning damage just like that for 30 to 40 chaos. Very, very easy. We also want to run a Death Rush right here, which gives us Adrenaline, which gives us 25% attack, cast, and movement speed, as well as 10% PDR, and recover life on kill, and chaos res. Death Rush is absolutely incredible, especially for leveling. And then later on, when you get a little bit higher level, you can do something like this and get an Eyes of the Great Wolf. If we don't go for perfect rolls right here, you can buy this really, really cheap for 20, 30, 40 chaos. Low supply, but you can get a ton of increased damage with just this Eyes of the Great Wolf right here. That's the basic idea. I'll give you guys a real rough POB in the video POBs channel on Discord that will have a early Act 2 setup and then like an Act 10 setup. And of course, we run 7 League steps, of course, always. That's it. That's all you need to know. Later on, Springleaf does fall off for the 50. You only get 50 life regen here. So a little bit later on, you can go for a Fire Res regular shield. This will be better for you. But that's it. And you're going to be cruising. That's all you need. You can invest 1 to 2 divines. And it is the easiest, I'm just going to say it. I know it's a hot take. I think Hollow Palm's really overrated. For dexterity classes, it's really, really good. and it'll absolutely cruise you through if you're a duelist or a ranger, or it's even not too bad on a shadow. But I think for a witch, Templar, or chieftain, I really, really think Hollow Palm is super overrated. And the twink setups for those other classes are just so much better. I don't think you should be twisting those classes to go for dexterity. And you can play something way, way more comfortable that's faster and smoother and just feels better. I know it's a hot take, but I don't see any reason to level. Like, with how strong this is, particularly if you're willing to go Chieftain, get the Explode node, get the free fire res, this is way better than Hollow Palm. It is. This is the best twink leveling that I've experienced. If you like hot, fiery twinks in your area, we got it. Yeah, that's it. Really quick one. I'm going to keep working on this build today. I'm just going to throw this guy right into a 5-way, and we're going to start working on the build. It's going to be some really, really fun shenanigans, so look out for the build that's coming then. And yeah, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all soon. Goodbye.